I want to talk about the economic benefits of SNAP, who receives SNAP, and why it's a good beneficial program for those in need of assistance for grocery stores, and why it stabilizes the economy. First off, no one wants to be on SNAP. Some people just have to be on it. They feel they have no choice. That's because more than 86% of households that receive SNAP are in poverty. If you don't know, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. About 80% of those on SNAP are either a child, an elderly person, or someone with a disability. Many adults need SNAP because they don't get paid enough. They're disabled or are simply a child. All of this info is from the USDA, which funds SNAP, and each state distributes SNAP and the local areas within the state. All of this info will be added in the description box below. Of the people who get SNAP benefits, 34% are children, 33% are elderly, 17% are those with a disability who aren't elderly, and are 18 to 49 years old who don't have a disability or kids. Some are also caregivers. There are also positives to the government cycling that takes taxpayer money back to its people. The USDA actually found that SNAP benefits the economy during recessions, providing money to recipients that then buy food from stores, helping stabilize the economy. But since 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck in the US, many are just one paycheck away from homelessness and hunger. They may even need multiple jobs to afford a one-bedroom apartment. Since the median cost of a one-bedroom apartment is $1,600 in the US, you need to make $28 an hour to afford that apartment, transportation, food, and all the other basics. The current minimum wage is only $7.25. MIT has a living wage calculator to help you calculate what you need to make in each state to afford the basics like an apartment, healthcare, food, and other essentials. Among all 50 states, minimum wage is not enough. I've added a link to MIT's living wage calculator below. If they don't get paid enough, they may need SNAP, which is a small amount of money compared to corporate welfare, such as the corporate bailouts in the 07-08 recession. According to Professor Deborah Lucas at MIT, the bailouts in the 08-09 recession, the after effects, the bailouts amounted to $498 billion, which mostly went to financial institutions like banks, mutual funds, and insurance companies. The $30 billion of taxpayer money that Elon Musk received in government contracts this year, which some call corporate welfare, is far worse than money spent to feed our people. So the cost of SNAP is another issue that is brought up. SNAP costs about $100 billion a year, but it's a cyclical program because our taxes return to those who need a little help, and which then returns the economy through where they spend their EBT card. The EBT card is how they use SNAP benefits at grocery stores. So it could help small farmers and businesses too, especially during recessions. When people talk about the cost of SNAP, they ignore the trillions of dollars in tax cuts given to corporations since the 1960s. If you think your taxes going to people that are hungry is a bad thing, think about how wage earners pay the burden of the tax, such as through the regressive payroll tax, which amounts to about $2 trillion a year and punishes wage earners for simply making money, especially the poor. Payroll tax amounts to 35% of tax revenue. Many economists believe it should be eliminated, though, since it's regressive. Then think about how the minimum wage should be 4 times what it currently is in order to afford the basics of society. A one-bedroom apartment, food, healthcare, internet, and so on. If you don't like how it's funded, then think about changing the tax structure. The astronomical government spending on forever wars, Israel, and increase the corporate tax rate to at least 40%. We've given Israelis $250 billion since the 70s. When you have politicians complain about SNAP, they don't understand the ethics and the economic impact SNAP provides to their country. This week, Trump said he's withholding SNAP benefits until the shutdown ends, but Republicans are refusing to show up to their job in Congress to negotiate. They are refusing to talk it out, which is extremely unusual over the past centuries. Then that seemed to be that they intentionally want people to go hungry in the supposed wealthiest country in the world. They want a reaction from the people. No matter who you vote for, they want you to be angry. From 2013 to 2016, Congress lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%, giving tax cuts worth $418 billion to corporations. From 2018 to 2021, tax cuts for corporations were $351 billion, according to a study on corporate tax breaks from ITEP. That link is below as well. If tax cuts lowered prices, we'd see lower prices at grocery stores. We're not. Prices are only going up after giving tax cuts to corporations over the past 60 years, especially the past 20 years. So when politicians say there's no money, there's money. It's just in the hands of corporations and the billionaires that own the corporations. And if politicians give out tax cuts to them, then we know who they work for. We now know the government doesn't care if a large portion of its people starve. Taking away SNAP benefits is one example of a government not on the side of the people. There's also this idea that people want to micromanage what people on SNAP want to buy. Of course, you'd prefer everyone eat mostly healthy meals, since that would improve their mental and physical health, their productivity, and their overall life. And most of them do, because the average person receives about $100 a week, not enough to live it up. They have to be careful about what they buy. Only certain foods qualify, like meat, fish, dairy products, fruits, vegetables, bread, cereals, but also snack foods and beverages. But you can't use SNAP for alcohol, cigarettes, vitamins, medicine, supplements, or pet food. But you could buy seeds using SNAP, your EBT card, so that you can grow your own food. The good news is we're noticing that people are working together to help their neighbors as they lose SNAP benefits. We see donations to people that need assistance, donations from strangers and neighbors. We see a collective good work together to help one another out, not out of charity, but out of support. These are our people. We have to save ourselves. The government which focuses on tax cuts to corporations is not interested in the majority. We are aware of this now, so we have to take over from the ground up by helping out each other, even if that means donating money to people that need it. If you want to help people who lost SNAP benefits, you could find a link below or by searching Feeding America. They have a tool that tells you where your local food bank is in the top right corner. You could donate money or food to a local food bank. SNAP is a cyclical government program where money is returned to those in need, who in turn use it to buy food, helping out farmers in grocery stores, and that money returns to the economy, stimulating it. Some politicians may not like it because it's an example of a successful socialist program that shows that our taxes returning to us is a successful use of socialism. Because socialism is where our taxes return to us to benefit society. Helping those who are hungry is the ethical thing to do. Socialism for billionaires and corporations is what we should be focusing on eliminating, not money to those most in need. Don't let the US corporate propaganda get to you. Learn the facts yourself, then decide how to act. If you want to learn more about how wages should be far higher, click on the video of mine where I explain that the average American gets robbed by not getting paid enough.